I am talking to the legendary Brian Holloway. Tell me about yourself, Brian.
Well, I'm in one of my favorite places of all, Palm Springs. When I played for the Raiders, it was one of my favorite places to disappear to after hard practice and when we had a weekend off. You can drive through the desert, you get a million miles away, you're around a whole different group of people, and you get a chance to relax. This has also been one of my favorite places to train, because when I was back in New England, it's much too cold to be able to cut weight. So what I would do is I would come out in Palm Springs, and I'd literally work out over at Palm Springs High School, which was a great place to train. So I dearly, dearly love it, and so it's great to come back here and be with my best buddies. And it turns out this week, in addition to catching up with some work that Al and I need to do, is the week that the NFL players are having their conference here in Palm Springs.
How cool is that?
So it allows me to be able to catch up on the new legislation. We have a new executive director following the tragic death of Gene Upshaw. They're going into a new collective bargaining agreement year, which will be tremendous change for the world of the NFL. And one of the big things on the table is a really good look at the health care and benefits and retirement and pensions for the older players, because what the studies have now shown is the mortality rate is really low. Most NFL ball players don't live past their 60s. That's not good news, I'll tell you that.
Wow.
Number two, they've taken a look at the repeated head injuries caused by concussions or semi-concussions. Well, most of the players that get have that symptomology or the linemen. It's a position I played, and they have a whole new protocol of what you can do once you get to 45 and 50 on to be able to improve your to reduce the speed of your loss, which means you've killed some brain cells and you're going to lose stuff. And so that's what we're here studying. They have a great healthcare network that's been establishing, rallying around ball players for spine, joints, nerves, head injury, and for the first time, I haven't seen this before, is dealing with the issue of depression that comes on as a result of the blood loss and the brain injuries. So it's an important time, getting a lot of great information, but I'm also having fun too. So that's what I'm doing out here. And I'm getting up very early in the morning to work with my clients back on the East Coast, because I have a couple big real estate projects that I'm working on. I've got a $550 million project down in Sarasota.
Wow.
I got a $100 million project on my property in New York. And nice. I've got massive amount of marketing that I have to get out to my clients, because over the last 15 years, I've been inside 259 Fortune 500 companies, helping them grow their business, helping them through this difficult time, and helping them. How do you do that? How do I do it? Mm-hmm. Well, the biggest thing, even successful companies, they're stuck inside the box. In every company, there is literally a billion-dollar enterprise inside every company. But they have to get access to it, they have to see it, they have to have new thinking, they have to have innovation, they have to break what's working in some ways, to allow them safely to look inside their organization, be able to tap the knowledge. The knowledge is the big equity, which means everyone who's been involved with the organization for years has a great wealth of knowledge. But inside that knowledge is ideas, innovation, and new thinking. Well, when you can bring that to the surface in an environment that promotes growth, you can literally create a company within a company. So that's the biggest play right now, because it allows a company to move past this thing called my product is a service and my product is a deliverable. But now there's a product called an experience, which means I will pay more for the same product because my experience is far more interesting. I will be more loyal to a certain customer because the experience is far more interesting. It's a much more interesting travel when you're traveling on Southwest versus American. It's a more interesting day if you go to a theme park versus going to Disney. Disney is far completely different and can charge 10 times more because the experience is completely different. So there's that new frontier. It's called the experience economy, that people need to look at their product, dice their product up, and uncover what that is and find a way to monetize that and sell it. And then the other product that everyone has to be looking at now is the new digital platform, which means basically, how do they take their product and bring it to the globe? Now, for the first time, even a small company can become a billion-dollar company because they have reach. They can go to China and Korea and Japan and all across the world. Well, what we need to do is rethink our product and rethink our deliverable, because you have the ability to be able to have a product, service, deliverable experience that is virtual. And if it's virtual, it's digital. If it's digital, there's tremendous margins. And it's a great play. The ceiling, there's no ceiling, and it's an unlimited future. But the hard part is how to teach individuals and leaders inside companies to see the invisible and sell it, to do the impossible and recreate it. That's what I do.
Very interesting. And what team did you play on?
Played with the New England Patriots back in 1981. I was drafted out of Stanford and found myself in the middle of a really challenging time because they were in the middle of the collective bargaining agreement.
Oh.
So I was one of the leaders that helped rewrite the new plan for the next 20 years.
Oh.
And while I was at New England, I played for 7 years, 8 years there and 2 with the Raiders, and went to a number of Pro Bowls.
Yeah, I noticed you have a ring. Can I see your ring?
That's from
so
Super Bowl
cool.
20.
Neat.
We played against, we were the Cinderella team. It was the New England Patriots, who were the last in the league, last in the records. By the 4th game of the season, we're in last place. And through this idea of reinvention, this idea of transformation, we were able to go all the way to the Super Bowl. And we didn't win, but the fact is it was an unprecedented rally and a testament of what individuals can do when they come together. So that was an exciting part of it. But during the time I was so busy, I had some really wonderful opportunities I had to pass on. Harvard recruited me out of high school. I chose Stanford.
Amazing.
And then the graduate school and the Kennedy School of Government said, look, we'd like you to come. We have a scholarship for you. And I was too busy with football.
Did you get like over 200 scholarships?
Over 200 scholarship offers.
That's
yeah.
like incredible.
Yeah.
And how tall are you?
6'8", 350, which is about average size for an NFL line.
Is it really?
So that's the world that I live in.
Wow. How cool.